my question to you is in the school system that you were involved in, or the education, did you see that the voucher system, that when somebody got one, it would take away money? That's one of the big fears people have, that this would hurt the public school systems by taking money away and high performing students away from the public schools.
Well, in our particular case, first of all, I've been president of 2 teacher unions, and so I have a long connection to the public education system in Florida. I'm a huge supporter and believer. But what we found is that this kind of choice actually improves the quality of education in the districts in the ways I just talked about. A couple different things happen. One is we've seen schools create more innovation, make more changes to try to make sure they meet the needs of these kids so they stay in their schools. The other thing that we found is that in many communities, we reduce the concentration of poverty in their schools, which also, as a teacher, I can tell you is a very positive thing, because the higher the concentration of poverty you have in a school, the more challenging it is. And so what's happening is that we're bringing out the lowest performing kids and the highest poverty kids, and that benefits the school district. The other argument, it is true that when a child leaves a particular school, that funding for that child no longer goes to that school, although in Florida we have a formula that helps moderate that a little bit. But that's also what happens when a rich child leaves that school. And so my position is that, I think low-income children ought to have the same opportunities as more affluent families. We also have a lot of magnet programs, a lot of charter programs. All those have the same effect. And so, I think we should make sure that low-income families have the same opportunities as more affluent families. And like I said, the research in Florida suggests that the district schools are enhanced and not diminished by that. That's the experience in Florida.
Senator Kelsey.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Just one last statement.
Yes, sir.
Before we leave this discussion. As you all remember, Madam Chairman, this committee passed a bill 2 years ago, in 2011, regarding opportunity scholarships. And it was an expansive bill, and it covered well over 20% of the students in Tennessee. And as the committee members know, I had filed with the committee an amendment that would also provide for a very expansive opportunity scholarship that would really give a large number of students a chance at a much better quality education that they deserve. And I hope that we will be able to take up that amendment when the time comes, because according to the testimony of Mr. Tuthill, I think I've got the statistic right, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, doing my math very quickly here, but our current bill that is before this committee as proposed would only cover 3.5% of the entire state of Tennessee. This bill would only cover 3.5% of students in Tennessee, students who desperately need another opportunity at a quality education. And if his testimony is that only 5 or 6% of those would then take advantage of that opportunity, then we're talking about 0.002 of 1% of students that would be benefited after we do all this heavy lifting to work on this bill this year. If we end up with only 0.002 of 1% of students being helped by it, I will be sorely disappointed. Thank you.